South Dakota's Secretary of Correction calls it a disturbance. And a correctional officer agrees, but he added that it could have turned into a riot.
In tonight's top story, KELOLAND's Dan Santella brings a clearer picture of what happened through the eyes of the correctional officer who works there and Governor Noem.
Correctional Officer Scott Schlegel was not scheduled to work yesterday, but events brought him to the state penitentiary anyway.
There was a all-hands situation that I was told, and if I could come in, and I said yes.
Schlegel says an inmate was refusing to go back to his cell because he was protesting a lack of access to tablets and phones. So the inmate was getting cuffed.
They weren't following directives, so when they went to go and cuff him up, the inmate refused and assaulted the CO.
CO stands for Correctional Officer. Tablets have allowed inmates to call family, but earlier this month, calls and messages on the devices were suspended because of what this DOC document calls an investigation. South Dakota Governor Noem agrees with Schlegel that the tablets were the reason for the disturbance.
This was because of some tablets that were removed from prisoners, and there's an ongoing investigation as to how those tablets were being used. The prisoners are still able to make phone calls, and they are still able to write letters and have communication with families.
The governor says inmates have used them for the wrong reasons.
We are going to find out if it's possible to give tablets to these prisoners and not have them be used for nefarious reasons, because that's why the investigation is going on.
Do you think yesterday would have happened if inmates had access to make phone calls on tablets?
No, yesterday wouldn't have happened. I really do believe that.
Schlegel says pepper spray was deployed. He does agree with the Secretary of Corrections that the event was a disturbance, but also says events were trending towards something more serious.
I would say that it is a disturbance to a point, but it was leading up to a riot.
In Sioux Falls, Dan Santella, KELOLAND News.
We reached out to the Department of Corrections and requested an interview with Secretary Wasco, but have not heard back.
Well, the two